Hello and welcome to Old Lady Plays. I'm Kate, the old lady, and this is Canada to Mexico to Italia to all kinds of places. But what it is also is the final episode. I've thought about this and I think I'm ready for a new challenge. I already know what that challenge is going to be. I'm going to drop a hint about it by the end of the episode. But the what I want to do today is quickly look back over the performance we did have in terms of trying to get to the World Cup and then getting to the World Cup and then how we did once we got there. So let's go and have a look. Our first attempt ended in the Hex when we finished 5th, well behind Costa Rica and Jamaica. We just didn't have the players for it. We were, doing our best, but it was not a pretty sight. Our next one, we did considerably better and qualified for the 2026 World Cup in Mexico by finishing second. And a very convincing second. I mean, there was not much question about whether we were going to qualify for this one. And that one, let's have a peek at the schedule. 2026. There we go. We faced tough opposition, but not insurmountable. We had Belgium, whom we beat 3-2. They scored to tie the game up, but we got a late goal by Alphonso Davies to win it. Alphonso Davies again was involved in the next game with Morocco, a disappointing draw. I think if we'd managed to win that one, it would have been a lot. We'd have done a lot better. And finally, losing to Spain 2-0 on a Sam Adekugbe own goal with Ferran Torres getting the clincher. The dreadful thing about this, as you can see, we didn't make the second round, but the dreadful thing about this is if we had scored a single goal more in any of the 3 games, right? If we'd lost the Spain match 2-1, if we'd won 4-2 over Belgium, if we'd won 2-1 over Morocco, any of those outcomes would have put us through to the second round, which is an absolutely astonishing result. We went into this hoping to score at least 1 goal because Canada's previous appearance at the World Cup in 1986, we didn't score a single goal. It was pretty frustrating. Believe me, I was there. Well, I wasn't there. I mean, I was 20 years old. I was watching. It was my 3rd World Cup that I paid attention to. I'd paid attention to the 78 World Cup when I was 12 and the 82 World Cup when I was 16. But what was interesting is, as I said, we came within 1 goal of making the next round. So it was so close, so heartbreaking. FIFA World Cup qualification. More recently, that is the most recent. We made the World Cup. We did so by playoff, and we had to beat Uzbekistan to get through the playoff, but we did make the World Cup. And unfortunately, we had a horrendous draw with France, number 1 in the world, Uruguay, number 14 in the world, and Croatia, number 18 in the world. We peaked at 32, which is the highest Canada's ever been in world rankings, in real life as well. We've never been that high, so I'm not displeased with how we ended up doing. I think we could have done better at this World Cup, but we faced some really heavy opposition, and I'm pleased that we at least did finally get a couple of goals in the last match. But I don't feel like there's a lot of... Our team is getting old. Here's the team age. We've got 7 players in this team who are 30 or older, and another 4 who are 29. By the time the next World Cup rolls around, really, I don't expect probably 2/3 of this team to be with the team anymore, right? They'll be 31 at the time of the next World Cup, these guys. Gavin Simpson and Jean-Philippe Bailly and Bailly, and we just don't really have the young talent to make up a new team and have it be something impressive. So rather than struggle on and be frustrated and have lots of not fun, I'm going to take a short trip back into the World Cup. And we're going to look at... Oh, I didn't mean to get that away, but there we go. I'm going to look at a few games that I made note of as the World Cup went on. The first one I want to look at is this Italy-Argentina match, which you'll notice was quite even. Argentina had the edge in possession, but Italy had the edge in shots and shots on target. So, it could be said that there was, and it looks fairly even. Certainly their chances and key passes and so on are fairly even. Italy took the early lead, and Argentina came back in the second half. And what was notable to me about this was they won the game in the 93rd minute. So, wow. Couldn't leave that much more late. Or so I thought, until I saw Brazil-Spain. Now this one, this of course being the second round, went to extra time, where we see that Spain scored very early in the 5th minute, and again in the 84th minute to take a 2-0 lead into injury time, only for Brazil to come back with a pair of goals in injury time. And then each team scored once in extra time, including Brazil scoring in the 119th minute. No leaving it to the last second there. And the penalty shootout, 3-2? Yeah. For Spain. Or for Brazil, I should say. And they get through. What else did I have? Oh, yes. This was a crazy one. Alright, so it doesn't look like much. It looks like, no big deal. A couple of people missed their penalties, so on, right? What's actually interesting about this is that there were 14 penalties. 7 by each side, and France won it 2-1. All the other penalties were either saved, missed, or hit the woodwork. But yeah, 2-1 out of 14 penalties. They missed 11 out of 14 penalties between them. Kind of crazy, but France is through. That was it for that side. Not a whole lot of interest happened in the quarterfinal, pretty much what you'd expect in most cases. England going out to Serbia, but it's the quarterfinal. England usually goes out in the quarterfinal, so that's not too unreasonable. The Netherlands beating Portugal 1-1 on penalties. That was kind of interesting. But it was a straightforward win. Germany beats Brazil, and Italy marches on with beating France 1-0. Italy continues their tight matches. Again, Holland has the lead early. Italy comes back to tie it up. And we had a 5-4 penalty shootout. Only one miss by Holland. Bonsink missed, and that's the difference. So Italy is going to the final. Germany handles Serbia quite handily. No effort there. They, completely dominated the match. It wasn't really close. So our final will be Germany and Italy, but we had this excellent third place match. Usually there's such a dud, but the third place match, we have 4-3 for Serbia. And this was back and forth. This was just crazy. Serbia scored first. Holland tied it up. Then it's Serbia taking the lead. Holland tying it up again. Holland taking the lead. No, sorry, hang on, I missed a penalty there. So, sorry, that was 1-0, 1-all, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, and then a late goal. Uglesa Maljesevic at the 85th minute, who got the final winner. Despite Holland having more edge, more of the shots, more of the possession, more of everything. So yeah, just a heck of a game for a third place match especially. The final was a little less exciting. Italy playing Germany. A good solid, what do you call it? A good solid win for Italy, who didn't really score a lot, but didn't concede very much either. If we look at their run to the World Cup final, they won 8-1, 4-0, 1-0. But after that 8-1 romp, things went downhill in terms of scoring, and the last 3 rounds they scored 3 goals to 1. In fact, they scored more goals in that first game than they scored in pretty much the rest of the tournament, except for the second game. So, yeah, Moise Kean wins the, what do you call it? Team player overview, there we go. Golden Boot, that's the word I'm looking for. There, okay. And I'm not sure why, because it looks to me like Alan should have won it. Let's have a look. Best player, Manolo de Cilis from Italy, a right back, 7.76 with 5 assists in the tournament. Moise Kean taking third place. Best goalkeeper, Donnarumma, no big surprise, now 31 years old, and backstopping Italy to a World Cup. Manuel Wimmer, 5 goals for Germany at 20 years old. Very nice. The Dream Team dominated by Italy, no big surprise there. A couple of Germans make it, a couple of Serbs, 1 Dutchman, and the rest are Italians. So, yeah, and a few more Italians, more Germans, more Serbs, more Dutch. Basically, anybody who made it to a semi-final got into the team of the match, except for a couple of Serbs who didn't make it to the semi-final. Or did they? Yes, they did. They were beaten by Germany. So yeah, no. It's all 4 teams that made to the semi-finals, made up the entire Dream Team. Goal of the tournament. Alright, this one sounds like being worth looking at. It's this guy here, number 15. Oh wow, that was pretty good. I gotta give it to him. That's a pretty good goal. That's a pretty good goal. And the others look like they're just reasonably good shots. Anyway, that'll do it for that look at the World Cup. Final look at the squad. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with how that worked out. We did our best. We got to the World Cup a couple of times, and actually did pretty well in the first one. A win, a loss, and a draw. And like I said, one goal would have taken us to the second round, so pretty close. But that's going to do it for this episode and this series. And yeah, we'll just go to the credits, and I will say the things that I say, such as, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you don't mind hitting the like or subscribe buttons if you haven't already. I hope you're having a great day. My hint for the new series is this: Vamos America. I'll leave it there. Have a great day and take care.